Happy Sunday everyone. Welcome to the weekly market overview with me, Pierre at PAFX. As usual in these videos, I will give you a top-down analysis and the best market structure trade ideas to look at for the upcoming week. So while I roll the intro and disclaimer, hit that like button for me, and if you're new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe. See you there. And welcome back, guys. Just a little announcement to all of you that been in the thinking to join my trading course. The registration is now open. I still have 8 seats left, and all you need to do is go to www.pa-fx.com and you will find all the information you need over there. So yeah, once again, for all of you who've been in the thinking process to make something about your trading and take your trading to the next level, you are welcome to do so now. So yeah, let's take a look at the disclaimer first. And yeah, what I want you to do is to read the disclaimer and be aware of the risk involved in trading, and that this session is not a signal in any way, so please consider that. We will start with the usual chart. Always we start with the Dixie to see what the dollar is doing overall, and we are on the weekly time frame here. We still see that the Dixie is in some kind of consolidation here in this range between the 95.20 area up toward 97.75. And we still nothing has changed since we broke above this level and trading in this area. So still consolidation for the Dixie, and on the daily you see that we had a very strong push here to make a new high, to then go back to retest this high. My expectation was the retest to happen and maybe a continuation. We didn't get that. What happened last week that we halted down here like for 3 days or so after the stronger push to the downside here, and we've been trading around this area for a while. So no real momentum last week for the bulls for the continuation, and yeah, with that happening and we holding near this support level, one could start being a little bit worried for more downside. There is more room for the correction, so do not expect things to keep pushing in one direction. So in my opinion, if we break below the close of these daily candles here, there is a possibility that the Dixie may give us a deeper correction, maybe towards 618 or around the daily 200 moving average as well. In any case, we are in a sideways market, as I said, and there is all the possibilities also that we may test all the way back down here. So I'm not saying that the dollar will collapse totally, but it is a range, and when such a condition happen, one could expect the continuation of this range to happen until we break out of it. The major boundaries of this range are, of course, up here. We want to see a close above this high, or if we break below these lows down here, then we are really pushing back down toward the yearly pivot point. But since we're talking only about next week, keep an eye on this area here. We had this head and shoulder on the 4-hour going on here on the Dixie, something like this. So we broke the neckline, and we held this range for a couple, maybe 3 days as well. This is this micro range here is very important for the short-term trading. Any break below this box here, that will open the door for a deeper correction to the downside, or if we get a break and close, not as happened last week on the 4-hour, it was just a spike. We want to see a break and close above these highs. If that happened, then we may make another push higher to maybe test the right shoulder or even higher. So pretty easy approach here. Keep an eye on this box. If broken, then we follow that direction. Gold, let's go to the weekly on this one. You see that gold did a very nice push to the upside. My expectation was the market objective was to reach the 1360 up here. But the first touch of this area here around the bodies of these previous weekly candles here, as you see, was a rejection. We ended up with a weekly inverted hammer here. We had such a scenarios before. We had an inverted hammer here, and despite that, the market kept pushing higher. So do not jump on this as a total reversal already. But the size of this this candle here is much bigger than what happened here. So could be a real rejection as well. It would be a little bit boring for me because I like to see the market reaching all the way to the highs, maybe trade a little bit above it before the reversal. So did they dump already the longs? Did they get paid already at this level before reaching the ultimate high? Or there was some front running for the sells? That is also a scenario. Let's not forget that now gold on the weekly is at the overbought condition on the weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, also at the overbought, and start making triple top divergence here from this high to this high here. We're starting having that divergence already when we reach it 1, 2, 3 highs, and yeah, it is a clear bearish divergence on the RSI. But still, structure wise, we still have higher highs and higher lows. There is no need to go against such a market. My opinion is still the best way would be if we see gold reaching all the way toward 1360 area, taking out these highs a little bit before that rejection. Yet as for now, it is a still bullish market. The question, are we willing to buy at such a high? I would not say that this is a good idea to go for longer term trades. There is possibly short term trades to happen here, but this rejection is pretty strong here. It was a pretty long time we never saw such a bearish candles happening previously on this move to the upside. So what I'm watching right now is what will happen when gold goes, if gold goes back and test monthly R1 up here. If we're gonna see another rejection, yeah, maybe some kind of 618 correction to reach this structure here. That is pretty interesting to see if we're gonna get another rejection and another lower high. If that happened, then there is a possibility for short-term trades, maybe back down here to retest this structure near the weekly S1 and this trend line. Yeah, as far as this trend line is not broken, this still should be bullish. We have the 200 moving average on the 4-hour as well at this area. So a counter trend trade this would be absolutely, but it is an interesting area. Monthly R1, I like those levels when reached, and 618 previous structure here, and the momentum to the downside here was pretty strong. Well, we've had a weekend now in between, so I don't know if we got some news during the weekend changing this sentiment, but keep an eye on this structure. Could give you a short-term bounce back down with a lower high. You need to have some kind of good trigger on this level if that happened. Again, bullish market. As far as this trend line is still holding, we should keep looking for buys toward the monthly R2 and for a longer term correction to the downside, I want to see this trend line broken, yeah, to then start looking for a deeper correction, since we've been at the overbought for a while now. Okay, oil also still pretty strong and bullish. Here is the weekly time frame. What happened was, after this drop to the downside, now we start having higher highs and higher low. This high broke above previous structure. We have another higher low above the 200 weekly moving average, and still looking strong. There is not much on the way between the price here and the structure levels up here. So my anticipation is that we may keep pushing higher toward 62 area, and monthly R2 there is a possibility to reach back these highs coming from this level. This level here was resistance, and here start acting as some kind of a little bit of support. So continuation to the upside is my view on oil. The best way would be if we get some kind of correction back down toward this level around the yearly pivot point before the next leg to the upside. On the 4-hour time frame, I think we see that much better. So this minor trend line is still holding support. We start having some kind of bearish divergence on the RSI for the 4-hour. So if this correction happened and we break below this trend line, then keep an eye around the yearly pivot point here for a possible continuation from this area around the 55 level is a good level to look for a buy now if that correction to happen. Otherwise, it would be the continuation of this trend line. If on the retest, once again, we get a bounce, that could be a possible continuation area, but I don't really like it. I like to buy it a little bit deeper to the downside. That would give us a nice correction back down to this broken structure to then continue to the upside. EURUSD, pretty boring, continue being inside this range here, and this range still seems like the euro is on hold until everything else in place. So I want to show you one thing only, and that is how the correlation between the euro and gold been doing so far. So as you see here, when the euro broke below this structure here, this consolidation on the euro in this area was almost the same consolidation as we had on gold. So there was still correlation going on, but then euro broke and gold didn't. Gold broke below the structure here way after euro was all the way down here. So when the euro was at this level on the weekly time frame, we've got this break to the downside. Then gold kept pushing lower and lower until this level here, and start going to the upside, while euro did another push and then halted inside this lower range. During this whole push to the upside on gold, the euro was still inside this range. So there was some revaluation going on in this market, and the question is what will happen now if gold really reach this level and start correcting to the downside. That could mean that we may see the euro continuing to the downside as well. So if euro breaks below this structure here and start moving lower again, then gold now have pretty nice room to move back down to the downside without losing much of its value anyway, since gold been moving to the upside all the way here, while the EURUSD was stuck inside this range. So yeah, pretty interesting things happening here. As you see on gold, we are at the overbought on the weekly, and on the euro we're still inside below the 50 here on the RSI. So when such a thing start happening, it make me start wondering what's going on, and in my opinion could be revaluation right now. So all in all, euro pretty boring, still inside this range. Nothing will change until we break out of this range down here. Last week we had a nice push higher, but we could not break and have a daily close above this controllable candle here. So we need to see a break and close above this structure where we had the weekly R1 from last week for the euro, if it is really gonna do another push to the upside to maybe make that deeper correction. To the downside, we're still watching this previous low as the level to be broken, because on this structure we have a lower high, we have a lower low, and the scenario was to look for a deeper correction and continuation. Even though this is a sideways market, as for now we do have one lower high and one lower low, which could be a sequence for a continuation to the downside. But yet again, nothing will change until we break below these this last line of defense. This is what I want to see broken on the EURUSD for more downside. Otherwise we still could make some move back to the upside. We're still below the 200 moving average on the daily, so longer term the move could still be considered bearish. On the 4 hour, what we have right now, we spent more than half of last week going trading inside this box. As you see, there is no real momentum after this inverted head and shoulder. There was no real momentum for that continuation to say that we may get that 618 correction. So as for now, keep playing this box. I think as soon as this box is broken, if it breaks to the downside, then we're gonna retest the lows, or if it breaks to the upside, then we're gonna make that deeper correction, maybe toward the 618 or the monthly pivot before the next leg to the downside. Okay, so keep an eye on that gold as well, because gold is at a really interesting level while the euro is on hold and waiting. Sterling USD also still looking pretty good last week. After this, on the weekly time frame here, we had this very strong push higher, retest, and now last week strong weekly candle. Could consider after this candle a possible continuation to test previous highs. Do not forget that we're getting a pretty heavy Brexit headlines week next week, and another vote on amendment and stuff like that in the parliament. Technically we have broken and retested the 200 moving average. We are trading back above the 1.300 here, which is a pretty interesting support and resistance level, so we're holding above that. And yeah, my view here is now, after breaking like this, higher low, higher highs, another higher low, and the question if we're gonna get this continuation. For that to happen, we want to see a break above the previous structure here. So we need to keep an eye on this structure. This is our resistance here. This is our support. A break above this would consider another push to the upside. Down here is our support. If that broken to the downside, then we make a deeper correction. But the look of it and the momentum of the bullish candle is telling me that we may break, or we may be looking for the break to the upside to take the long once again. Okay, but keep an eye on this down here. If retested, this been a strong support level. Last Friday we saw a very nice dip to that, to then push higher once again. And on the 1 hour time frame, we see that this structure here is now reclaimed, and that could be your support level to look for a bounce from on lower time frames. UJ still still inside that channel. We're gonna go to that on the lower time frame, but on the weekly nothing new has happened. We still have the 110 as support and 111 as resistance. Daily time frame been slightly to the upside, but nothing really happening inside this little range. And on the 4 hour and the 1 hour we had this some kind of channel here, and really no strong momentum for the bulls. Last week we broke out of this channel, and my anticipation is that we may go down toward that 110 to test that level before we get the next bounce to the upside on this market. So still nothing new here. 110 is our support, 111 and the monthly R1 up here is our resistance. Nothing will change until we break out of that. USD CAD, pretty interesting as well. We've got another confirmed lower high, lower than this one here. And last week was a pretty strong bearish candle, evening star formation happening at the monthly pivot point. That for the weekly. On the daily we see that very strong candle on the daily, bearish engulfing after breaking the neckline here, a retest and a continuation. We just broke below the 200 moving average on this market, and since oil keep pushing higher, then this market may keep pushing lower as well, and probably breaks this channel, who knows. Yeah, but even on the 4 hour time frame we see that break, retest and continuation happening. If you're holding a short, keep an eye on this structure level where we have the previous low and the trend, the bottom of the channel, I would say. So it is still sell rallies market on USD CAD. Any retest higher to try to sell it once again. This is minor support. If broken, that will open the door for more downside on this market. Best viewed on the daily time frame. I'm talking about this level that happened to be at the bottom of the channel as well. So if this low here got broken, that will open the door for much more downside on USD CAD. Aussie USD also, let's go to the weekly on that one. You see that it was an indecision candle for the weekly, bounce up, bounce lower to then give us some kind of doji. Still no clear direction here on this market. The overall trend is still bearish, of course, but we still have this area here is a pretty strong support level. The body of this candle here and this candle here is the clear support on this market. So on the daily time frame, I still think that this area down here may act as last line of defense on this market. If broken, then that will open the door for much more downside. As for now, I think the 4 hour is the time frame to play until we leave this range. We have break below this structure to then hold as this support. So I would say keep playing the lower time frame on this market. This is our support, this up here first here, and then the last line of resistance is up here, is the area to look for next week. Nothing will change until we either break below this low or break above this high on this market. Keep an eye on that. Trade war talks, any good news about it is good for the Aussie. USD Chief, nice trade. Those of you who watched the weekly overview, we've done it live last week. I said a break, then to look for retest and continuation. We've got nice trade here. As you see it clearly, lower lows and lower highs. On the daily, we tested a clear resistance level up here. and we broke this trend line to then sit back on this support. Nothing will change here until we break this support. If that happens, if this support level breaks, then there is a possibility to move lower toward the 200 moving average and this previous structure of support here. So still looking possible that we get a break below here. The market is sitting as that support right now. So until this broken, there is no sell here right now, because this could act as support and you get another bounce higher from this level. If that happens, keep an eye on this monthly R1 as a possible resistance level, because we left that area pretty strongly when tested the previous time. So this still could act as resistance. But really, for more downside, if you're still holding the short here, if you did not take all profit, you need to see this previous low broken first. New Zealand USD, also let's go to the weekly on that one as well. Still inside this range on the weekly. Nothing will change until we break out of it. So as for now, we could keep playing the range here. We are in mid-range right now, so the levels to keep an eye at is up here for next week, and this as your support. So you need to keep playing those levels until we have a break out of it. The market did not really give us any continuation yet. We're still ranging here, and that is what we should be playing until the market behavior change, which means until the market start really trending. As for now, we have a higher high, then to get a lower low, another lower high to then get a higher high, and so on. So it is a ranging market, and you should play by those rules we have right now until we see a breakout. If we break above this, then there is a possibility for continuation to the upside. If we break below this, then there is a possibility for continuation to the downside. New Zealand CAD, same scenario. We are inside this range, and same here. Nothing will change until we break out of it. You see it here on the weekly, what kind of range we have. We have this range here we're trading inside. So the boundaries of the range are clear on the daily. When we look at it at the daily time frame, we see that right now we are trading in this lower range here. So I'm talking about this area, and yeah, we are near the bottom of this range. So the key levels to look at is down here. If this gonna hold once again to give us a bounce or a break below, that will open the door for the best trade this week, I think, if the break below this clear structure here happen. But as for now, it is not a broken structure. So as for now, it is still a consolidation behavior or ranging market. So sell high, buy low until the breakout happen. And that is what going on many market in the Forex market right now. A pretty boring trading. Some of them making some kind of trend, but most of them are going sideways. Another good one that is trending is actually Aussie CAD with lower lows and lower highs still. So this one is clear in a bearish move right now, and I still think that this may fill this wick down here. But as first, keep an eye on this low here as a possible support. We broke on the daily below previous structure, so on this market we should only be looking to sell rallies. Here I mentioned this in our trading room, to look for a retest and continuation, and that is still the case. Keep an eye on the monthly S1 down here. We need to see this broken. That will open the door for more downside on this market. So sell rallies, and short-term trades would be maybe a bounce from this level. or keep an eye on this structure here for another retest and continuation. Yeah, as far as we are below this trend line, below the 200 moving average on the 4-hour, this should be sell rallies market. Aussie Jappy, same as I said last week. I told you guys this is a ranging market. Sell the highs. We've got a pretty nice retest almost to the pip, the previous high, before we've got the strong bounce to the downside, and it is still the same scenario here. Buy the lows down here, sell the highs up here. There is a possible continuation now after this strong push to the downside to sell this area. I had this trade idea in our trading room, so the question is if we're gonna get another leg down here from this retest. I really don't like to trade mid-range, but this could give a possible continuation to the downside. Euro Aussie, the expectation was that we broke above previous neckline to look for a retest to the neckline and continuation. We didn't get any bullish evidence here. It was a strong bearish move on Friday. There was still no signals, but still this down here could act as good support. If you got any nice bullish evidence at this level, there is a possibility to push higher from that area, but the real resistance is still up here, and the major support is still down here on this market. Also a ranging market, so you need to have no big expectations on your take profit. Same for Euro New Zealand. We broke above the neckline of the inverted head and shoulder. We were looking for retest and continuation, but as you see, no signals at all here. The bears was in total control the whole Friday, and if we look at it on the daily time frame, it seems like this could be another correction and continuation. Yeah, after breaking previous lows here, still the trend line is intact, so we maybe could see a continuation on this market to the downside, but it need to break below this structure level. Levels to look at is if we get another retest toward the 200 moving average on the 4-hour and this structure here, to look for another push lower now, since the daily seems to be still intact for a continuation to the downside. Euro sterling also bearish. Pretty interesting chart on the weekly. We gonna test the last line of defense on this market, and that is like down here. As you see, this candle here broke previous low but did not break below this low down here, and we've got another lower high on the weekly after a bounce retest of the monthly pivot point, almost 50% of this move, but there is a shooting star formation on that, and then a continuation, and we are on the weekly. On the daily, we did a retest, and there is a continuation here. If you're holding a short, keep that short until we reach this last line of defense, where we may get at least a short-term bounce from this level. So if we go down to the 4-hour, we see it clearly here. We broke the range. The idea was in the trading room, look for retest and continuation. Here we got the retest clearly toward this structure, and boom, a possible continuation here. So again, if you're holding a short, should take profit down here, because this is where we have the weekly major support level here. And if that failed as support, you see that this will give you a huge opportunity all the way down here toward monthly S2 and the 200 moving average on the weekly time frame. So another great trade, but we need to see a break below this structure. That is the key support that we want to see broken down here. that will give you a great reward if that happens. Sterling Jappy also after a strong push, a correction and continuation, struggling now at the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. The look of it, still possible for more continuation. What I didn't like about it, that we didn't really have a strong break above this high. If that would happen, something like this, we could say much easier look for retest and continuation. So it is still not really broken, since this high we have no close on the daily above it. For our time frame, I think you could keep following this trend line here. We want to see this broken to the upside, and if that happens, that will open the door for more continuation to the upside. So keep an eye on that. Another good support level, if this market to really break back below these lows and back below this structure, is once again the 142.60 as a possible support level. Yeah, I would like to see the break above the trend line actually before any break below this structure level. That would be showing strong momentum for the bulls and continuation. First trouble gonna be at this previous high, and if that broken, then there is a clear continuation up here toward these highs looking left. USD Mexican reversed at us, is still not ready and could continue lower after what we have on the weekly time frame. We see that this trend line 1, 2, 3, 4 touches here on the weekly, but still there was no good momentum for the bulls. We tried to get long. I took 2 positions long and took profit on those, to then lose one and take another one at break even. So after the retest on the daily 200 moving average, we've got a strong bounce back down. Another attempt to try to go higher. With bulls failed to make new high here, so it is not looking good for the bulls. And right now I'm changing my mind over this, because I said if we break above this, we need to hold above it to do something like this and continue, but we didn't hold above it. We broke back below it yet again. Last week we tried, and on Friday we went back inside yet again. So it's not looking good. These head and shoulder worked well here. We broke below the neckline. We tried to push above this key resistance, and I said we need to see a break above this for more upside. We didn't get the break, and here there was no retest and continuation, so there was no signal to buy after that break above. And the look of it right now, it looks pretty pressured. And yeah, what I'm thinking here, that we may get another push down toward these lows if we manage to break below this structure on the daily time frame. Still no break below it, but if that happen on the daily time frame, I'm expecting this market now to maybe push lower. Yeah, because the bulls clearly not winning this fight, so there is no need to keep stubborn and try to go long if the market is showing you something else. This bearish engulfing here, showing that the bears still there, bears still not done, and more it looks like some kind of flag here after this push lower, and maybe another leg to the downside is possible. So the long idea is over now for me, and I may go short if I see evidence of that next week. USD Singapore dollar, we said that we had a break on the weekly retest, and we looked for continuation from this level. And I said if we gonna break above this level here, then there is a possibility for continuation, but that didn't happen on the retest. There is still this possible scenario of some kind of inverted head and shoulder here, but the neckline is all the way up here for this to be confirmed. So as for now, still bears seems to be in control. We expected some trouble at this previous structure here. We retested that, but still no bulls in sight, as you see here. No bulls in sight, I would say. And on the 4-hour time frame, we broke this neckline. We did a retest and another move lower. So I'm looking at the lows here of the week. This low of last week is pretty important support. If that broken, then there is a possible continuation on this market. This would give us some trouble here on the way, but if that broken, there is more to the downside. As for now, it is at support level, so this is support. You're not selling at support because it could bounce from this level. We could keep ranging inside this area as well. So wait for signals at this level, either a break or a very strong bounce from this level. And for more upside, if this really to reverse to the top of the range, this is your key resistance level that you need to see broken. So if you are bullish the dollar and you really want to go long, you want to see this broken like this to then look for retest and maybe a continuation. As for now, bears still in control in this market. The Dow US 30 still looking in shape. Bulls are still in control. We testing pretty interesting level. The last time we tested this area here, you see how strong we pushed back to the downside, but we've tested this level a couple of times now. Still no real sign of the bears in this market. The market still expecting good news from the US-China talks, and that is what matters at the moment. Actually, no one looking at the economics, any releases matter anymore. It's all about the trade talks. So on the weekly, you see that we are about to test the last line here, to then we have another high, and then we are at the all-time highs. Yeah, still weekly very strong to the upside, no signs of bears, and no matter how crazy it sounds, the chart is showing us bullish continuation, so that what we should be looking for. Keep buying those dips. This support now is a key level, so we may keep ranging here until we get any news from China USA trade talks. A break above this previous high that will signal another continuation move for the bulls. So look for that, any break above this, or see this as your key support level to buy from. A break below this, that would give us maybe a deeper correction. Yeah, we still did not test this broken structure here yet, so that is also a possibility. If that happened, that could be also the same level where we have this trend line going on to look for a possible bounce from. If we break the trend line, then we are talking about a deeper correction. But as for now, as I said, the bear's still not here yet. FTSE on the weekly time frame, where is my weekly? Here we go. On the weekly time frame, we did break above this key resistance level here as you see. So last week was a bearish, but this could also be a correction before a continuation to the upside. On the daily, you see that we've lost momentum. We see it clearly here. We've done a higher high to then push 2 days to the downside. The bulls could not continue here, so this is a little bit worrying, yeah, because the bulls did not continue for another high here on the daily. The day after bearish, and Friday was Also a bit, it was a bullish day, but inverted hammer, yeah. So this is clearly losing momentum with some divergence on the RSI. So the question is if this market gonna give us some kind of correction back down toward the monthly R1 and these previous lows. As far as this low here on the daily is still not broken, we're still in a bullish move on this market, so keep an eye on this structure. This is the key low that we want to watch. If not broken, then still a buy, a level to buy from. And the 4 hours show us really how we lost momentum after this high here, failed to make new high, and another lower high here. So this market is a bit weaker than what the Dow is showing, and could give you a deeper correction. First trouble is around the monthly R1. The last line of defense is down here. Otherwise, we get a bounce or break and give us a deeper correction to really test this neckline down here on the FTSE. And the DAX, let's go to the weekly on that one as well. You see that we testing the 200 weekly moving average here. We do have some kind of inverted head and shoulder on the weekly as well. As you see, we just broke above previous high, which could be our neckline as well. But we are going toward an interesting area on the monthly R1. You see this structure here, support here, and at this previous resistance at the moment. So it is looking as a possible reversal, and there is some trouble on the way. The monthly R1 is the real resistance area that we could see some problem at, maybe a bounce lower before any continuation, yeah. So looking left, you see why I think the monthly R1 is an interesting level, support and resistance previously. But this inverted head and shoulder and the weekly still looking nice in shape. We have the 200 that on the weekly here that may act as a troublemaker as well. But 4 hour, we broke above this structure and we continued higher. So still looking at this as your possible level of support. Any retest of this level could give you some bullish evidence and another bounce to toward these highs up here. A break below this could mean another push lower, could mean that we may keep going sideways in this area here, yeah. So yeah, that was the last one. I still have the copper here. We have one trader trading copper in our trading room and done a great trade here after the break, and I think it is pretty interesting chart. So since it is here, let's talk about this a little bit. You see that we broke above the neckline here of this double bottom on the weekly, but on the other hand, RSI at the overbought, and we are testing this major support and resistance level. So this market is at an action point right now. Pretty strong push after the break here. Think many stop losses got taken out, so it is an empty area. And since we're testing this pretty important support and resistance level, it is an area to look at. On the daily, we are at the overbought as well. It could give you some kind of push back to the downside here. So I'm looking for possible signals for maybe a push back toward this broken structure before another leg to the upside, yeah. So pretty interesting chart, so you could keep that chart and look at it and see what will happen here at this level. Still, we've got first reaction to then bullish reaction and another retest and continuation. Still no signs of weakness here, despite overbought and all that on the RSI. There is still no signal here that this area is our possible counter trend sell level, yeah. So yeah, with this one, that was the last market. Long video, but yeah, it is good that you guys could see as many charts as possible and choose what you want to trade from them. So happy trading and see you next week. Bye bye.